Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Chat group. Investing in Li Hanyi, returning grass character sword technique. Xiang traveled to the Holy Land of Donghuang and became the Son of Dayan, bound to the investment return system. As long as you invest, you can receive critical strike return rewards. Just as he was searching for a target investment, he joined the Sky Communication Skirt, which was filled with talented individuals who spoke well. Dingdong. Invest in the Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi and return the Grass Character Sword Technique. Dingdong. Invest in the ancestral worship of the Stone Village to the Spirit Willow God and return the innate spiritual roots of the peach tree. Dingdong. Invest in the Emperor of Wilderness and return the Supreme Bone. Dingdong. Invest in General Thunderbolt and return a wife. Ying Zheng. Immortal, please give me an immortal pill to extend my life. Shigu Jianzi said, since I obtained the spiritual weapon of the immortal, those evil spirits have been burned to ashes within 100 meters of me. Angel Yen. The Dayan Holy Sword taught by the group leaders is thousands of times more powerful than the angel judgment. I love you, Nangong Pushi said, may I ask if the group leader still accepts disciples? Xueqi. Silently observing. JPG. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Beidou Donghuang, Son of Dayan Shengzi. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Donghuang. Dayan Holy Land. As one of the powerful forces passed down from ancient times, this place is filled with a dense and ethereal aura, forming a mist. There are countless wonders in the mountains, with fairy lights shining and white cranes dancing. At this moment, the Sword Peak and Sword Tomb are buried. Xiang opened his eyes in a daze and looked at the scene before him in a daze. Before he could come to his senses, a huge memory merged into his mind. I am actually a traveler, only awakening my past life memories today. Xiang's eyes widened and he stood up directly from his meditative state, showing a puzzled expression. According to the original memory, this is a world filled with practitioners, with ancient families, holy places and divine dynasties, secret caves, and even forbidden areas for life. And his identity is the contemporary saint of the Beidou Donghuang Dayan Holy Land. Coincidentally, before awakening my memory, my name was also Xiang. As a traveler, combined with the memories of this lifetime, Xiang soon found out that he had traveled to the world of Tanjizhitian. The reason why he appeared at the Jianfeng Sword Tomb was to comprehend the swordsmanship left by his ancestors and comprehend the Dayan Holy Sword to the fullest. After 3 years of seclusion, Xiang relied on his exceptional talent to not only comprehend the Dayan Holy Sword to the fullest, but also took advantage of it to break through the heavenly realm of Sendai. Unfortunately, in the final moments, he became possessed and fell into a coma, awakening the memories of his past life due to unforeseen circumstances. That's how things are. Xiang couldn't help but feel that before awakening his memory, he had become the Son of Dayan, which was truly magical. Through time travel, he became the Son of Dayan and possessed a layer of heavenly realm in Sendai. This opening was higher than many people, but Xiang did not give up because he was well aware that in the world of Tanji covering the sky, the cultivator in Sendai was nothing at all. When the dark turmoil descended, even the quasi-emperor level strong could only become the life nourishment of the ancient emperor in the forbidden zone. In short, all ants under the emperor. By the way, where are my golden fingers? It's already this time, come out quickly. Xiang shouted casually. The golden finger is a standard accessory for every traveler, and it is reasonable for others to have it, as well as for oneself. Dingdong. The investment return system is currently binding to the host and has been successfully bound. Introduction to investment return system. The host only needs to complete the investment on the target character to receive a critical hit increase return reward. Sleeping slot. Sleeping slot. Investment becomes stronger, and this golden finger is very suitable for me. I love it. Xiang looked shocked and laughed like a pig on the spot. Birds of a feather flock together. He grandly gave birth to the Holy Son and naturally knew many holy sons and daughters. As long as he found a few extraordinary talents to invest, wouldn't he still have a soft hand in returning rewards? Just as he was fumbling about how to operate the investment return system, a voiceover from a girl named Loli rang in his ear. Dingdong. Zhutian Communication Group invites you to join. Do you agree? Yes/no. The system is worried that I don't understand investment, so I'm sending out the Zhutian Communication Group for assistance. If that's really the case, I can only say. Thai pants are spicy. Without any hesitation. Xiang joined the Zhutian Exchange Group as soon as possible. The interface of the Zhutian Communication Group is a simplified version of the Penguin Group, currently only providing chat and red envelope functions. The right column displays the basic information of all group members. Dingdong. Xiang joined the Tianzhu Communication Group and automatically became the group leader. 1/1 of the group members, Dingdong. Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, joined the Sky Exchange Group. 2/2 members of the group Dingdong. Shizhuan ancestor worshipping the spirit of Lucian joins the Heavenly Exchange Group. Group members 3/3, Dingdong. General Thunderbolt joins the Sky Exchange Group. Group members 4/4, Dingdong. Angelico joins the Sky Exchange Group. Group members May 5, Dingdong. Nangong Pushi joins the Heavenly Exchange Group. Group members 6/6, Dingdong. Under the Snow, Yang joined the Heavenly Exchange Group. Group members July 7, Dingdong. Dan Taiyu joined the Tianzhu Exchange Group. Group members August 8, just a few breaths. Including Xiang 8 newcomers joined the Zhutian Exchange Group, which is somewhat unexpected. Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi said, who can tell me where this is? Lucian. Is it possible that the Void God realm is expanding? It doesn't seem right either. Under the Snow, Yang said, hey, the communication group of the heavens. I guess someone must be playing a prank, right? Angel Yen. I accidentally added a low-level civilization chat interface, which seems a bit interesting, hehe. General Thunderbolt. This body is just a perfect puppet general created to avoid wear and tear. It seems that there is a problem with the will of the Pure Land, which leads to mental disorder. This is not a good thing. Nangong Pushi said, I just want to ask, why isn't the group leader me? Dan Taiyu. Silently observing. JPG, the existence of the Zhutian Communication Group may seem unfamiliar to some members, but they have a strong ability to accept it and can easily understand it through simple conversations. Xiang did not participate in the water group, but instead stared at the asterisk after the names of the group members, which was an appraisal ability attached to the investment return system that only he could see. Dingdong. Reminder to the host, Zhutian Communication Group has discovered potential investment targets. Lu Shen, investment grade. Angel Yen, investment grade. Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi, investment grade. General Thunderbolt, investment level. Nangong Pushi, investment grade. Dan Tai Month, investment grade. Under the Snow, Yang investment grade. Great, so many investment targets appeared all at once, you don't have to go out to invest, take off. Xiang was ecstatic in his heart. Lock the target on Lu Shen as soon as possible. Lu Shen is the most promising investment target in the communication group, with an investment level of 7 stars. If you receive a critical hit increase return, the reward is unimaginable. However, most things are probably not favored by Lu Shen. Although he claims to be the son of Dayan, the most impressive skill he currently possesses seems to be the Dayan Holy Sword, which is not worth mentioning in the eyes of Lu Shen. Anyway, let's give it a try first. Qing took a deep breath and casually took out a source stone from the shimmy bag, printed a copy of the essence of the Dayan Holy Sword, and sent it to Lu Shen in the form of a red envelope. In just a moment, the lowly sound of the system elf rang in its ears. Dingdong. The exclusive red envelope you sent has been rejected, and this investment has failed. You cannot make a second investment in this target within 3 days. Sure enough, I don't even want a free red envelope. I truly deserve to be the unparalleled Lu God. Qing felt a bit helpless. He didn't expect his first investment to fail, but he quickly felt relieved. Lu Shen has been involved in the realm of immortals and kings, so it is understandable to have a higher gaze. Since that's the case, we can only look for other group members to invest in. The Dayan Holy Sword is more than enough to invest in targets below 4 stars, and for them, it is definitely a great creation. During speech, Qing shifted his attention to the other group members. P.S. New books require flowers, collections, and support. Chapter 2. Investment in Snow Moon Sword Immortal, Return of 10,000 times Critical Strike. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the communication group. Except for members with only 1 star, members with 3 or 4 stars can be considered as investment targets. Who should be invested first? Just as Qing was lost in thought, the chat records of the Zhutian communication group caught his attention. Angelico. Which star domain do you people from lower civilizations belong to? Do you need Hanhiko to protect them? The City of Angels fights against all the root causes of evil. General Thunderbolt. No need, under the management of this general, Ina's wife can adjust the wind and rain smoothly, ensuring the stability of the country and the people. There is no need for outsiders to protect her. Gao Leng. JPG, Angel Yen. I respect your choice, after all, you are a low-level civilizations creature, and the pattern is too small, which is understandable. General Thunderbolt. It's you with a small pattern, mortal. Gao Leng. JPG, Angelico. Laugh, Benhiko doesn't want to argue with you, it's meaningless. Under the snow, Yang said, can you please stop arguing for now? Also, may I ask? Do angels really exist in this world? At Angelico. Angel Yen. Of course, the City of Angels is located in the core area of the Angel Nebula, which is unattainable for lower civilizations. Ben Yen also calculated the wormhole through the battleship Tianjian and made multiple spatial jumps in order to shuttle through various galaxies. Under the snow, Yang Nai said, I'm not quite sure. So. Can I call you Sister Angel? Angelico. No problem, Benhiko has lived for 7,000 years, and his age is beyond your imagination. Of course, this age has only just reached adulthood among angels. Under the snow, Yang said, wow, angel sister, please take my knee. Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, said, what a joke, there are people in this world who can live for thousands of years. Angel Yen. Ben Yen is not a human, but an angel, the left-wing guard of the Holy Caesar. Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, said, I don't understand. I won't talk to you anymore. I'm facing some trouble here and need to focus on the enemy. Let's hide for now. Under the snow, Yang Nai said, Sister Li Hanyi, don't rush to leave yet. Why don't you stay and continue the water group with us? Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi. Goodbye. JPG/goodbye. JPG/ is Li Hanyi in trouble? On the other side. After reading the chat records, Qing showed a strange color. The event about Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, was running wildly in my mind, playing quickly like a slideshow. As a traveler, Qing quickly remembered the famous scene of Li Hanyi being besieged by Tang's Sect and Dark River experts. Given Li Hanyi's current situation, the probability of her success in investing in Dayan Xingqian should be very high. This is a good opportunity that cannot be missed. So, Xiang came straight to the point and sent her an exclusive red envelope, which contained the pre-printed Dayan Holy Sword. Leader Xiang said, "At Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi. Don't rush to leave yet. If I remember correctly, your final sword technique is the moonlit evening flower morning, right?" Wow, the group leader is foaming a lot. "Hurry up and go grab your thighs," said Snowfall General Thunderbolt. "Your name is Xiang. Give you a chance, quickly give up the position of group leader to this general, don't be disrespectful." Sick Jiao face. JPG, Nangong Pushi said, "It shouldn't be easy to become the leader of the group. Can you tell me about your outstanding skills?" At leader Xiang. Angel Yen. "I guess he's another mortal. There's nothing to inquire about the life of a lower civilization, and I'm not interested." Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi said, at Master Xiang. "Who are you and why do you know the swordsmanship I am practicing?" Li Hanyi was a bit surprised because she didn't mention this in the basic information of the chat group. After just exploring, she only knew that the group members should be people from different worlds. And even though she had mastered the famous swordsmanship for many years, it was discovered by the group leader, an outsider, which inevitably made her curious about Xiang. Ignoring the curiosity of the masses in communication, Xiang will send out the pre-edited information. The group leader Xiang said, at Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi. "The power of the moon and the morning flowers is average. Although they can attract peach blossoms all over the city, they are flashy but not real, and their killing power is limited." Leader Xiang said, "I have noticed that your bones are amazing and your talents are extraordinary. Now I am giving you a great creation that can help you improve your cultivation. Your red envelope has been sent out, and you should cherish it. How dare this person slander my proudest swordsmanship? That's really despicable." Upon seeing the message sent by Xiang, Li Hanyi trembled with anger and almost refused to receive the exclusive red envelope that appeared in the communication group. However, when she saw the 3 words, "Great Creation," she instinctively clicked to receive a red envelope. There's no way. She is indeed in big trouble now, and a slight mistake could potentially result in her death today. Then I'll take a look at what this great creation is. The moment of receiving an exclusive red envelope. In Li Hanyi's mind, a clear outline of the essence of Dayan Holy Sword came to mind, combined with graphics and text. This technique was like a wake-up call to sword cultivation, opening the door to a new world. Good swordsmanship. I didn't expect there to be such a fierce and domineering sword intent in the world. Perhaps it can be called the sword technique. Li Hanyi's eyes flickered, and then he sent a thank you message in the communication group. Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi. Thank you to the group leader for the gift. Boxing. JPG, at the same time. The lowly sound of the system elf sounded in Xiang's ears. Dingdong. Your investment in Dayan Holy Sword has received sincere gratitude from the Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi. You have opened the fog to break through the cultivation bottle top, triggered a 10,000-fold critical hit return, and received a gift package for Grass Character Sword Technique, which has been stored in the backpack space. Introduction to the attributes of the Grass Sword Technique. It comes from the perfect world, 9 heavens and 10 earths, and is an inherited treasure technique of the 9-leaf sword grass. With the intention of a grass sword, a grass-transforming sword can cut through the sun, moon, and stars. Hiss. Xiang took a few sips of cold air in place. Even though he had fused the memories of the great Yenqing's son of this lifetime, his vision was extremely high. At this moment, when he saw that the reward returned by the system was the Grass Character Sword Technique, he fell into a state of stagnation, and his heart was difficult to calm. I got rich. I didn't expect to receive the inheritance treasure of 9-leaf sword grass. Woohoo, take off. 9-leaf sword grass is one of the 10 evil forces in the perfect world of ancient times, and its inherited treasure technique is listed as one of the 3 great sword techniques in ancient times. With one sword move, it can cut open the universe, cut off time and space, and its power goes without saying. Naturally it is incredibly powerful. That is a treasure technique that even the immortal king fears, and it is revered by the Supreme Hall as the inheritance of the town religion. Xiang, as a Dayan sage, has integrated the original master's talent in swordsmanship. It's absolutely a great addition to the power of the tiger to get the cursive sword formula. It's really awesome. Great, who should we invest in next? Xiang did not rush to comprehend the grass character sword technique, but shifted his gaze to other members of the group. P.S. New books require flowers, collections, and support. Chapter 3. Divine Journey to the Mysterious Realm, Dayan Holy Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Youth songs travel the world. Outside Nan'an City. Dark clouds are dense, and heavy rain is pouring down. At this point, Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, stood on a luxurious cruise ship, staring coldly at the 5 experts in front of him. The matter needs to start from 3 days ago. 3 days ago. She left Snow Moon City and boarded a solitary boat to Lei family castle for a hero banquet, but never expected to be ambushed as soon as she arrived outside Nan'an City. The people who took action were actually the 3 elders of the Tang clan, Tang Yu, Tang Li, Tang Yin, as well as the Dark River Master who wielded the umbrella ghost Su Muyu and the deadly ghost Qidao. These 5 people are all experts at the level of the Xiaoyao heavenly realm, and together they can kill any martial artist under the divine and mysterious realm. Although Li Hanyi's cultivation has reached half a step of divine wandering and is known as the Sword Immortal by the world, he is still too forced to face 5 experts at the same time. After less than 30 rounds of fighting, he fell into a clear disadvantage and was almost severely injured by his opponents several times. It is very rare for her to persist until now. Tang Yu, Tang Li, Tang Yin, your Tang clan is actually colluding with the Hidden River. Aren't you afraid that Snow Moon City will settle the accounts after autumn? Li Hanyi spoke while seizing the time to comprehend the Dayan Holy Sword. The essence of the Dayan Holy Sword benefited her greatly. The confusion in swordsmanship in the past suddenly became clear, as if she had received enlightenment, and later she could be promoted to the realm of divine wandering. Jia, as long as I kill you, the situation here will not spread to the outside world. Even if Snow Moon City wants to investigate the truth, it is not an easy task. Li Hanyi, I admit that you have a strong talent. If it weren't for joining forces with the Dark River, the 3 of us would definitely not be your opponents. You shouldn't go to Lei family castle for the hero's feast, get caught up in the feud between Tang clan and Lei family castle. If you want to blame me, I'll blame you for meddling. The 3 elders of the Tang clan spoke one after another, without hiding their killing intent in their hearts. Hear their words. Li Hanyi's face showed no fear, but he glanced at the 2 assassins in the Dark River and said indifferently, the Tang clan attacked me because of the grudges of the Lei family castle. What about your Dark River? It seems that I haven't offended your Dark River, have I? Take people's money, help them alleviate disasters, the dead don't need to know so much. Umbrella-wielding ghost Su Muyu didn't want to explain too much and gave such a response. Li Hanyi, don't think about procrastinating. No one can save you today. The desperate ghost Qidao raised his big sword and said fiercely. This person is the head of the Xie family and a notorious assassin in the Dark River. The reason why he changed his name to Qidao is because every time he kills, there must be a soul under Qidao. The next moment, Qidao struck without warning, wielding his large sword and slashing out a Tenzhang sword with a domineering momentum, hitting Li Hanyi too quickly. Boom! Shockingly loud, deafening feedback. The cruise ship leans 40 degrees. The position where Li Hanyi is located is submerged by the strong wind. The deck at the bow of the ship is instantly fragmented, and gets involved in the river with the waves. Seeing this scene, Qidao's face was full of arrogance, but unfortunately his proud smile had not yet unfolded, and he was stunned by the scene before him. It can be seen that after the strong wind and mist dissipated, Li Hanyi stood intact, with an inverted bolt-shaped light curtain appearing on his body at some point, guarding it tightly. How could it be? How exactly was this achieved? She was clearly weak just now, why could she easily accept Qidao's attack? In the field, both the Dark River experts and the three elders of the Tang clan showed an incredulous expression. Suddenly, a terrifying conjecture appeared in their hearts. Li Hanyi had been hiding her strength all along. She was not a half-step divine wanderer at all, but a master of divine wandering in the mysterious realm. Only with this explanation can everything that just happened be explained. The fact is just as they thought. After Li Hanyi comprehended the great Dayan Holy Sword, his understanding of swordsmanship reached a higher level. He successfully broke through the bottle top of the half-step divine wanderer and entered a state of mystery, allowing his mind to travel thousands of miles in an instant. At this moment, she has truly set foot in the mysterious realm of divine exploration, and her cultivation and strength have undergone earth-shattering changes. The Dayan Holy Sword is truly my great creation. I can advance to the mystical realm just by getting a glimpse of the path. If I cultivate it to perfection, it would be unimaginable. Li Hanyi's eyes lit up, but now is not the time to think about these things. She has more important things to do. Pulling my thoughts back. Li Hanyi's gaze swept indifferently over the three elders of the Tang sect and Qidao Sumuyu. Unlike before, there was a hint of mockery in her eyes. Being in the mystical realm and half a step in the mystical realm were not at the same level, and this feeling was indescribable, giving her a strong sense of confidence. Li Hanyi, I didn't expect you to hide so deep. You stepped into the mysterious realm of wandering at a young age. Qidao's face was gloomy and he made a hoarse voice. When Li Hanyi scanned over just now, he had a feeling of being seen through, which was the meaning of wandering beyond the sky. Only by reaching that level can he bring such a sense of oppression. The umbrella-holding ghost Sumuyu and the three elders of Tang men instinctively took a few steps back. Obviously, they were all panicked and lacked the confidence they had just had. Have you said enough? If you've said enough, let's go on the road and try your swords. Li Hanyi was too lazy to talk nonsense, and with a backhand, he struck a sword, causing petals to fall from all over the sky. Chi 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 chi, in an instant. The surging sword energy swept forward and launched an indiscriminate attack on the three elders of the Tang sect, including the Dark River Masters. This move, Moonlit Evening Flower Morning, unleashed more than 10 times greater power than just now. Whoosh! 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 The three elders of the Tang clan and the master of the Dark River kept evading one after another. During this process, the sword energy formed by the petals cut through their clothes, leaving crimson marks. Damn it, her strength has improved so much. Qidao jumped awkwardly onto the wing corner of the cruise ship, wiping away the blood from his forehead, his face as ugly as if he had eaten a dead child. The situation of Sumuyu and the three elders of the Tang clan is not much better. They each have more than 10 sword marks on their bodies, and their clothes are dyed red with fresh blood, clearly suffering considerable damage. However, all of this is just the beginning. Wandering in the mysterious realm, there is not only such an attack, let alone Li Hanyi's sudden realization of the sword meaning of the Dayan Holy Sword. Bang! In an instant, Li Hanyi leaped up, stepping on the void and hanging high above the cruise ship for 100 meters, emitting a surging sword-like aura throughout his body. Don't keep it, everyone. Let's take action together. Kill her. Shoo. Shoo. Phew, The three elders of the Tang clan took out the secret weapon of the Tang clan, Rainstorm Pear Flower Needle, at the first time, aimed at Li Hanyi and shot it. If they hit the target, they would be very sure to shoot it into a blood sieve. Buzzing, Qidao is also brewing his ultimate sword, because this is already his 7th sword, and if he doesn't kill his opponent, he will change his name. Chang, not far away. Umbrella-wielding Ghost Sumuyu has formed a cohesive sword formation. His swordsmanship is also top-notch, and his weapons are extremely eerie. He undergoes unpredictable changes between umbrellas and sharp swords, and his overall strength is not inferior to that of Qidao. Although he was once a confidant with Li Hanyi, this order was given by the senior parent Su Changhe. In order to complete the task, he had to draw his sword at his former acquaintance. Speaking late, then fast. Between the lightning and flint, the Rainstorm Pear Flower Needle of the 3 old Tang clans and the attack of the underground river masters have fallen on Li Hanyi. P.S. New books require flowers, collections, and support. Chapter 4. Team Annihilation of Tang's Sect's 3 elders, quickly killing Qidao. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Whoosh, Li Hanyi flew in the air and left a trail of shadows over the cruise ship. In a flash, he defeated the killing moves of the underground river masters. The Rainstorm Pear Blossom Needle, the hidden weapon of the Tang clan, was also hit by the sword blade and flew away, clanking. During this period, more than 10 steel needles were bounced back, accurately hitting the vital points of the 3 elders of the Tang sect, making them drink their hatred on the spot. No, I'm not willing to. Damn it. I hate it. Before the 3 elders of the Tang clan died, they let out a voice of unwillingness. However, this doesn't change anything, everything is their own fault, they don't hesitate to die. Killers, people always kill. Now it's your turn. Li Hanyi's face was as cold as frost, in a mysterious state. At this moment, the sky is filled with dark clouds, and rainwater is splashing on the cruise ship, washing away the bloodstains flowing out of the 3 elders of the Tang clan. The umbrella-holding Ghost Sumuyu and the life-threatening Ghost Qidao exchanged a glance, their hearts hanging in their throats. After witnessing Li Hanyi's counter-killing of the 3 elders of the Tang clan in front of them, these 2 hidden river masters had no fighting spirit and felt a sense of retreat in their hearts. They all know very well that if they stay to fight, there is a high possibility of leaving their lives here today. Not far away. Su Changhe, the parent of the hidden river, who was watching the battle in the dark, had a pale face and clenched his fists with a thud. Li Hanyi turned out to be a master of wandering in the mysterious realm, which was completely different from the intelligence obtained by the dark river, making it difficult for him to accept for a while. I miscalculated. Li Hanyi's strength is so terrifying. Is the plan to destroy Lei family castle going to fail? Su Changhe had a fierce face, and at this moment, the Yen demon palm emitted bursts of green light, with faint signs of backlash. Feeling the pain of Yen Mahjong's backlash, and then looking at Li Hanyi hanging high over 100 meters, Su Changhe made a crazy decision. His voice was hoarse as he muttered to himself, no one can stop the plan to destroy the Lei family castle. Even if Li Hanyi is wandering in the mysterious realm, he has already exhausted almost everything after the battle just now. If he can absorb her power, perhaps he can completely solve the aftermath of Yen Mo Palm's backlash. Say this sentence. The Suchong River crossed the river like a dragonfly skimming the water, and within a few steps, it arrived on a cruise ship, standing with Qidao and Sumuyu. Parents. Sumuyu's face slightly changed, with a look of confusion and hesitation in her eyes. Just now, he signaled with Qidao that he was ready to escape. Unexpectedly, the leader of the Dark River, Su Changhe, appeared at this moment. Isn't this sending sheep into the tiger's mouth? Without further ado, Li Hanyi is already at the end of her rope and won't hold on for long. She must be killed today. Su Changhe's palms are shining brightly, ready to welcome the Sword of Sword Immortal. The leader of the underground river issued a long order. Su Muyu and Qidao dared not say much, as they concentrated their strength in their weapons and stared intently at Li Hanyi above the cruise ship. On the other side, seeing the appearance of Su Changhe, the leader of the underground river, Li Hanyi was not too surprised, as if he had already noticed it. Because at the moment when she was promoted to the mysterious realm, her mind wandered thousands of miles away, and any nearby wind or grass could not escape her eyes, including Su Changhe's secret observation of the battle. She had originally planned to kill Su Muyu and Qidao, and then take down Su Changhe who was hiding in the dark together. Now it seems unnecessary, as the latter's early appearance would be more convenient. Even if Su Changhe is a half-step divine wanderer, he can still be killed. Buzzing accompanied by the sound of swords, it spread. Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, entered a state of unity between humans and swords. She was seen blooming with a golden light all over her body, wielding her sword and slashing it into the air. In an instant, fairy light shines brightly. A powerful sword weighing over 100 zhang emerged from the void, carrying unparalleled power and crashing onto the cruise ship, too fast. What is this? What a domineering sword intent, quickly dodge. No. Su Muyu, Su Changhe, and Qidao were horrified and looked at the sword's edge, feeling hopeless. Because such swordsmanship has already overturned their cognition. Boom. A loud bang. The luxurious cruise ship was split in half by an energy giant sword, with countless fragments flying in the sky, sweeping out with strong winds. The desperate ghost Qidao was hit by sword energy and was immediately cut to the waist. Without even making a scream, he was swept into the bottom of the river. The Dayan Holy Sword is truly a holy land inheriting swordsmanship. At first glance, the sword's remaining power can instantly kill the experts in the Xiaoyao heavenly realm. When the energy tide on the river calmed down, Su Changhe and Su Muyu were covered in blood, holding the same piece of floating wood and spinning around the edge of the vortex. Although both of them were lucky enough to survive, their meridians were cut off, their internal strength was completely lost, and they became useless. Cough cough cough, is this really Li Hanyi's true strength? Hee hee. Su Muyu's face turned pale and he let out mournful laughter. The Snow Moon Sword Immortal deserves its reputation. Su Changhe let out a sigh and was ready to die. If given another chance, they would never dare to ambush Li Hanyi. Especially after witnessing the domineering and unparalleled sword just now, Su Changhe realized how ridiculous the mission he was carrying out was. Even using egg to stone is not enough to describe the gap between the two sides. Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, is incredibly strong. In the face of absolute strength, any conspiracy or scheme is so vulnerable. Chi. While the two were lost in thought, Li Hanyi, who was hanging above, once again took action. The Dark River Assassin is notorious. Even if Su Changhe and Su Muyu have lost their fighting power and become useless, Li Hanyi doesn't want to let them go. So, she casually waved the moonlight and the morning flowers, and the sword energy rained down like raindrops, flooding the Su Changhe River and Su Muyu in an instant. Ah ah ah. The screams rang out one after another, and finally came to a sudden halt. When the sword energy dissipated, these two people were beaten into blood sieves, and their blood and flesh were swallowed up by the vortex along with the broken floating wood, buried in this river. The Great War has come to an end. The dark clouds have dispersed outside Nan'an City, and the heavy rain has also begun to stop. Only the floating debris on the river can prove that this place has just experienced a fierce battle. Looking at the scene in front of him, Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, felt a bit unreal, and all these changes began with obtaining the Dayan Holy Sword. Whoosh, at this moment, a figure wielding a sword flew over, dressed in a purple Taoist robe, with a delicate face and a light beard on the chin, giving off a feeling of ethereal elegance. This is Zhao Yuzhen, the leader of Qingqing Mountain. He actually went down the mountain. Li Hanyi looked surprised. Fairy, are you okay? Zhao Yuzhen appeared very worried. He had already noticed the commotion here 10 miles away. As one of the 5 great sword immortals in the world, he naturally sensed that the battle happening here was related to Li Hanyi. But to his surprise, the battle ended prematurely after he arrived, which left him puzzled. I'm fine, it's just being ambushed by the Tang clan's hidden river, Li Hanyi said calmly. Tang men and Yin had dared to join forces against you. What about those people? Zhao Yuzhen was about to get angry, but before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Li Hanyi. Dead, the 3 elders of the Tang clan, as well as Su Changhe, Su Muyu, and Xie Qidao from the hidden river, all died and were buried under this river. What? After listening to Li Hanyi's words, Zhao Yuzhen was momentarily stunned and stood still in place. P.S. New books require flowers, collections, and support. Chapter 5. Investment Angel Yen, Rewarding Energy Communication Once. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's talk about Qing again. When he invested in the Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi and received the return reward of the Grass Character Sword technique. Transfer the target to other group members. What left him speechless was that Nangong Pushi and Danteyu were not interested in swordsmanship, and after a brief communication, they were politely rejected when they wanted to invest. General Thunderbolt is very aloof, always pretending to be tall and aloof. He doesn't respond to Qing's messages several times, and it's unclear whether it was intentional or because he couldn't draw an empty water group to fight against wear and tear. Finally, Qing decided to target Angelico. He remembered very clearly that the flame sword was a standard accessory of the Angel clan, which had a special fondness for swords. Even the Angel King, Holy Caesar, had his own king sword. For the Angel clan who loved to use swords, they should be very interested in the Dayan Holy Sword. After all laws are interconnected, and after living for 7,000 years, Angelico will definitely be able to decipher some useful things from the Dayan Holy Sword. Remember here. Qing silently sent an exclusive red envelope to Angel Yen. Dingdong. The group leader Qing sends out an exclusive red envelope Zhutian communication group interface. Brushing out a red envelope without warning. The online group members started chatting again. Under the snow, Yang Nai said, the group leader has sent out an exclusive red envelope again. Can you also send me one? General Thunderbolt. I am too lazy to grab red envelopes sent by ordinary people. Angel Yen. At group leader Qing. Young man, what do you mean by sending me an exclusive red envelope? Is this trying to please me? Angel Yen. However, it can also be understood that after all, Ben Yen is the left-wing guard of Holy Caesar, from a higher civilization, and there are many people who want to please Ben Yen. Qing twitched the corners of his mouth. I couldn't help but sigh in my heart. This Angel Yen is really not ordinary arrogance. If it weren't for being a time traveler and becoming the great Yensheng's son who covers the world with his fingers, perhaps she would have really intimidated him. Now it seems that the City of Angels is just that. Although the City of Angels in the supernatural universe belongs to a higher civilization, it cannot even be considered an ancient family in the world of pointless shadows, let alone compared to the Holy Land of the Eastern Wilderness. Of course. In order to make this investment successful, Qing patiently explained, after all, everyone has just joined the group and is not familiar with each other. The identity of this cheap group leader is not very prestigious and normal. Leader Qing said, at Angel Yen. Don't be narcissistic yet. Inside this exclusive red envelope is a sword technique I have cultivated, called the Dayan Holy Sword. If you can understand it, your strength will definitely be improved. Angel Yen. Hee, how can I cultivate the swordsmanship of a lower civilization? A righteous angel can use stellar energy to dispel evil and summon the heavenly blade to judge and destroy everything. Do you understand? The group leader Qing said, don't say too much. Perhaps the swordsmanship in the exclusive red envelope is really useful to you. Just at this moment. Li Hanyi surprisingly phoned. Li Hanyi, the Snow Moon Sword Immortal, said, the great Dayan Holy Sword of the group leaders is indeed very powerful. I can guarantee that just getting a glimpse of the path can double my strength and set foot in the mysterious realm of divine exploration. Leader Qing. Look, someone who understands goods has appeared. Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi said, indeed, by the way, after understanding the Dayan Holy Sword, my troubles have been resolved. Once again, thank you to the group leader for your exclusive red envelope. Leader Qing said, practice well, wandering in the mysterious realm is not the end. Your path is still long. Snow Moon Sword Immortal Li Hanyi said, I will definitely work hard. Angelico. Benhiko can see that two people from lower civilizations are competing in business. Leader Qing. Believe it or not, missing out on the great creation is your own loss. Goodbye. JPG/goodbye. JPG/goodbye. JPG/. After sending this message, Qing stopped explaining and was prepared for investment failure. The supernatural universe. Fraser, a southern tribe. Angel Yen rested on a rock with his long legs crossed, and upon seeing the message from the group leader Qing, he became somewhat interested. This human has actually started using the technique of provocation. Now let's see what kind of tricks you want to play. During speech. Angel Yan's heart moved slightly and clicked on the exclusive red envelope in the virtual interface. Dingdong. Congratulations on obtaining the Dayan Holy Sword. Introduction to Dayan Holy Sword. From the world of Tanjijitian, it inherits sword techniques from the Donghuang Dayan Holy Land and is one of the most domineering sword meanings in the Holy Land. Its power is unparalleled and invincible. Dayan Holy Land. I think it's just a mortal sect from the era of cold weapons. What's so remarkable about it? Angelico is as proud as a white swan. Anyway, being idle is also being idle. Let's just pass the time and see the swordsmanship created by low-level civilizations. Just. This aloof attitude quickly underwent a 180-degree transformation. As she immersed herself in the sword intent of the Dayan Holy Sword, her proud expression quickly faded from her face, and her eyes widened, her mouth turning into an O shape. Is this really a swordsmanship created by a mortal sect? It's unbelievable, it's really unbelievable. Angel Yen murmured to himself. She never expected that the leader of the Zhutian communication group would bring such a surprise. The profound meaning of the Dayan Holy Sword is really too domineering. With her current abilities, she cannot even fully calculate this swordsmanship technique, which involves too many things and definitely reaches the level of God. Overall, the Dayan Holy Sword. Truly fragrant. After watching Dayan Holy Sword, Angelico was even more shocked and couldn't calm down for a long time. I don't know the origin of the group leader, but he can even deliver such swordsmanship. His genes are probably very strong. If we establish energy communication with him, maybe we can unlock Hanhiko's genetic lock and even have the opportunity to evolve into a fourth-generation divine body. Angel Yan's emergence of such thoughts is not a momentary impulse, but a result of rational analysis. This time, the reason she appeared in Fraser was to search for the trail of the demon Atox and bring Guxiaoluan from the Milky Way Earth to experience it. But after these days of getting along, Guxiaoluan's cowardice and timidity disappointed her. Instead of following the instructions of Holy Caesar and establishing energy communication with Guxiaoluan, it is better to find a more powerful person. And now, there is such an opportunity. Angelico firmly believes that the group leader Qing is full of mystery, and being able to wield swordsmanship like the Dayan Holy Sword is definitely not a weakness. Establishing energy communication with him is beneficial and has no drawbacks. At the same time, the group leader Qing's eyes flashed subtitles of successful investments. Dingdong. Your investment in Dayan Holy Sword has been recognized by Angelico and deeply shocked her heart. Her attitude towards you has undergone a huge change. Now, we will return the reward. Establish energy communication with Angelico once. Do you agree? Agree/disagree, what? Chapter 6. Unlocking Yan's Gene Lock and Promoting to Sendai 2. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. What kind of divine operation is this? The return reward this time is also too bizarre. Seeing the prompt displayed by the system sprite, Qing looked surprised. He originally thought that this successful investment would yield some skills or treasures, but he never expected the reward to be returned as energy communication once. However, as a traveler, Qing quickly analyzed that the reward this time was not simple, perhaps it could further enhance his strength. Angelico has the sub-biological engine left by Queen Kaisha, 7,000 years of pure angelic power, and those memorable long legs. Establishing energy communication with her has made a lot of money, I agree. While speaking, Qing has clicked on the agree prompt on the semi-transparent panel. Dingdong. You have agreed to establish energy communication with Angel Yan, and it will be teleported to the mysterious space within 10 seconds. Please be prepared. 10, 9, 8, 7. When the countdown prompt reached 0, a devouring vortex appeared behind Qing without warning, teleporting it to a mysterious space. And Angel Yan was also teleported here at some point, and when he saw the group leader appear, his face became somewhat unnatural, and his heart began to accelerate. In fact, just now, a voice of inquiry echoed in Angelico's head, asking if she was willing to establish energy communication with the group leader Qing. She just expressed her inner thoughts and didn't expect to appear in this mysterious space the next moment. It wasn't until she saw the appearance of the group leader Qing that she knew all of this was true. Are you the group leader Qing? After taking a deep breath and adjusting his emotions, Angelico asked with a hint of embarrassment. Well, it's nice to meet you. I can help you unlock the genetic lock in your body. Qing was in a happy mood, but he didn't expect Angelico to be even more beautiful than he had imagined, which was full of temptation for him, a young man in his 20s. Additionally, as a celestial realm in Sendai, it is comparable to a half-step superpower. The power of bloodline is countless times stronger than that of ordinary people, and confidence has a high probability of unlocking the genetic lock of angels. At that time, he can also benefit from establishing energy communication, which is a win-win cooperation that is good for everyone. He is looking forward to it. When will we start? Although Angelico has a divine bloodline, he is unfamiliar with establishing energy communication and has little experience. At this moment, he makes a mosquito-like sound. I'll take the lead. I'm a bit nervous. Don't worry, it's okay. Qing stopped talking and proved everything through his actions, gesturing to Angel Yan not to speak, as long as he cooperated well. Next. Everything is in silence. Establishing energy communication is the perfect integration of energy interfaces and the transmission of energy through operational forces. Of course, this transmission of energy is mutual. As the saying goes, solitary yin does not produce, and solitary yang does not grow. Therefore, heaven and earth are matched with yin and yang complement each other. The principles are interconnected. Under the reflection of the light, the two figures are seamlessly pieced together, fused together, and finally indistinguishable from each other. 2 hours have passed. The process of establishing energy communication has come to a successful end. Qing successfully unlocked Angelico's genetic lock and unintentionally helped her restart the secondary biological engine, benefiting himself from this process. Both sides were teleported out of the mysterious space before they had time to talk. My genetic lock has really been unlocked. The supernatural universe, Fraser. After being teleported out of the mysterious space, Angelico immediately noticed that the third-generation divine body had successfully evolved into the fourth-generation divine body, and the power inside his body had increased more than 10 times. This sudden surprise made her forget the pain between her legs. After adjusting her condition, she cut off her wings and flew towards the southern barbarian tribe somewhere. Because she seemed to sense the hidden position of the demon Atox. Bang 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 bang. The world is shrouded in bullets. Beidou Donghuang, Dayan Holy Land, Sword Tomb. As soon as Xiang was brought back to his original place, a stronger aura revived in his body. The energy feedback obtained from establishing energy communication is definitely the result of 1 + 1 being greater than 2, which promotes him from the first level of heaven to the second level of heaven. The second level of heaven in Sendai is the so-called Great Energy Realm. From this moment on, Xiang has become a superpower, and he clearly feels a significant increase in divine consciousness. When released, it can cover hundreds of miles in an area. In the Holy Land of Dayan, except for some restricted areas and places with fog formations, one can have a panoramic view. Okay. In terms of my current talent, I can still rank among the top among the younger generation. I guess only those who possess supernatural bodies can compare with me. Xiang looked satisfied. You should know that in some declining holy places, Sendai can become the supreme elder with just one layer of sky. Those holy lords, archbishops, and imperial lords are also generally in the second level of the Sendai heavenly realm, with a lifespan of 3,000 years. Of course. These are all relative to some declining forces. In places like the shaking light Holy Land, there may be 1 or 2 bloodless supreme masters at the level of great saints, and among the several immortal imperial dynasties in Zhongzhou, there is even the old Zhuan emperor who has half a foot in the coffin. Today, Xiang possesses the second level of the heavenly realm in Sendai, which can only make him one of the best in his generation. However, there is still a considerable gap when facing those old people who have lived for thousands of years. By the way, I also have the grass script sword technique. In an instant, Xiang's eyes lit up as he thought of returning the reward from the grass character sword technique. So he moved slightly in his heart and clicked on the grass sword technique in his backpack space. In an instant, he wandered in the world of sword energy ocean, with the sound of sword chirping incessantly in his ears. In the dark, a 9-leaf grass rose up from the ground, charging straight into the 9 sky clouds. Finally, the 9 leaves were like giant swords that stretched across the sky, cutting off the sun, moon, and stars. In reality, Xiang fell into a strange state, perhaps due to the perfect cultivation of the Dayan Holy Sword, which increased his speed of comprehending the grass character sword technique by more than 100 times. It's like a moment, and it's like a long time. When Xiang woke up from his state of comprehension, it was already 3 days later. The grass sword technique has finally been successfully cultivated. Xiang opened his eyes and a terrifying sword intent burst forth. The next moment, the sword's intent charged straight into the sky, and the sound of the sword's roar spread out from the center of the sword tomb, spreading for thousands of miles. Chapter 7. Shocked by the great Yen Holy Lord, our Holy Son has a great. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Clang 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 clang. Dayan Holy Land, thunderous clouds surging, sword energy surging into the sky. At this moment, both the disciples of the Holy Land and the senior elder who had been in seclusion for many years were shocked because the power emanating from a grass sword was too terrifying. In the secluded place of Xiang, there seemed to be an energy giant sword tearing open the sky curtain, and from a distance, it looked like a fairy waterfall falling, giving an unparalleled feeling. That direction is Burial of Sword Peak. 3 years ago, the Holy Sun entered the Sword Tomb for seclusion. What exactly happened inside? The main hall of the Holy Land Center. A charming woman's eyes flickered, and her gaze towards the Burial Sword Peak was shocked. This person is the Holy Master of Dayan, and now he has reached the 4th level of the heavenly realm in Sendai. Although he has lived for hundreds of years, his cultivation has blessed him, and his temperament is still extraordinary, with a non-human-like aura. At this level, there were not many things that could shock her, but the sword intent that erupted from the sword tomb of Jianfeng is definitely one of them. In order to figure out the truth of the matter, Lord Dayan decided to leave the central hall and go to the Jianfeng sword tomb to have a look. In fact, in addition to the Holy Lord of Dayan, some elders in Dayan Holy Land also left the pass one after another and rushed to the Burial Sword Peak at an extremely fast speed. A grass sword comes and goes quickly, only lasting for a dozen or so breaths. When the Holy Land powerhouse arrived at the sword tomb of the Burial Sword Peak, the overwhelming sword spirit disappeared. Apart from the densely packed remnants of the sword, only the contemporary Dayan Holy Sun stood there. Why are these old guys here? Seeing the arrival of 7 or 8 holy elders, Xiang's face was filled with a look of astonishment. Everything that happened before was purely accidental, and he never expected that as soon as he woke up, he would enter a state of unity between man and sword, and unintentionally burst out with a blade of grass sword intent. That's how it happened. It is worth mentioning. During these 3 days, Xiang not only comprehended the meaning of a grass sword, but also cultivated the grass character sword technique to a small level, resulting in a tremendous transformation in his strength. At this point, he had a feeling that with his powerful realm in the 2nd tier of Sendai, he would not be inferior even to the king realm in the 3rd tier of Sendai. As for the sage realm of the 4 layers of heaven in Sendai, the outcome can only be determined by confronting it. Pulling my thoughts back, Xiang arched his hand at the strong men and said, "I've seen all the elders. Son, did you release the extremely domineering sword intent just now? Dare to ask, Holy Son, what is your current state? With such a domineering and unparalleled sword intent, isn't it that you have perfected the cultivation of the Dayan Holy Sword?" Several elders spoke one after another and spoke politely to Xiang. The most important thing in Dayan Holy Land is talent. Those who can become the Holy Sun are rare geniuses who have extremely high status. Especially feeling the incredibly rich aura of Xiang, these elders dare not put on any airs. Xiang Gang is about to speak. Suddenly, with a whoosh, a slender figure came with a sword, her hair fluttering in her clothes hunting. The aura emanating from her body was even stronger than those of the elders. Xiang recognized her identity as the first person to do so, and she is the contemporary saint of Dayan, as well as the previous generation saint of Dayan. "I have seen the Holy Lord." Xiang saluted while looking at the great Yan Holy Lord through the remaining light. Through the fusion of memories, it is known that although the current Dayan Holy Lord is a woman, she possesses extremely amazing talents. Within 3 years of joining the Dayan Holy Land, she won the position of a saint, and after less than 100 years of cultivation, she was promoted to the 4th level of the Sendai heaven. Unfortunately, after being promoted to the 4th level of the Sendai heavenly realm, this major practitioner of the great Yen saint was stuck at the top of the bottle for hundreds of years in the sage realm and could not go any further. The world of Tanjijitian never lacks geniuses. Like the great Yen Holy Lord, it is common to get stuck at the top of the bottle during the later stages of cultivation. Perhaps these geniuses lack opportunities for breakthroughs, or they lack the ability to keep up. In short, there are various opinions, and the reasons behind them are probably only the ones most clear to the parties involved. Xiang, have you advanced to the second floor of Sendai? Lord Dayan widened his eyes and his face was moved. As the Holy Lord of Dayan, she is well aware of the information about her son Xiang, who is a rare genius in 1,000 years. 3 years ago, when she entered the Sword Tomb and declared her seclusion, it was only the completion of the Dragon Transformation's secret realm. I thought it would be incredible for the contemporary saint to break through Sendai in his 20s, but to my surprise, Xiang brought such a big surprise to the Holy Land. He not only became a cultivator in the secret realm of Sendai, but also rose to the second level of Sendai, reaching the realm of great power. It is truly incredible. What, the saint has broken through the second level sky of Sendai? How could this be possible, in his 20s? God bless me, the Holy Land of Dayan. Several elders in the field were all shocked and they heard this, and their hearts were filled with turmoil. Being stared at eagerly by these people, Xiang's face was somewhat unnatural, but he quickly adjusted his emotions and gave a positive answer. Cough cough cough, return to the Lord, I'm just lucky. Lucky. After 3 years of seclusion, I have been promoted to 2 different levels. Do you call this luck? You should know that even a genius who has practiced for thousands of years may not be able to step into the realm of Sendai. Those who can cultivate to the secret realm of Sendai cannot be explained by good luck. Lord Dayan glanced at Xiang, but she didn't delve into it. Then she asked, Xiang, did you have an accident while practicing Dayan Holy Sword? Why was the sword intent condensed from the sword tomb so terrifying just now? After all, the Holy Lord Dayan is the previous generation of saints. She has a strong talent and has been cultivating the Dayan Holy Sword to great perfection for 100 years. She is very aware of the power of the Dayan Holy Sword. Even if she cultivates a perfect sword intent, it cannot compare to the invincible sword intent above the sword tomb before. The nearby elders all perked up their ears, trying to figure out what was going on. Their curiosity was not at all beneath the Lord Dayan. This. Xiang originally wanted to conceal it for a while, but it was not necessary to think about it. Then he moistened his throat and said, yes, there were some changes when I reached the perfection of the Dayan Holy Sword cultivation. In the dark, I came to understand a new sword meaning, and I plan to call it a grass sword meaning. There is no news about the 9-leaf sword grass inheritance treasure technique in the world of Tanjishitian, which can be fabricated by oneself and will not cause too much suspicion. Anyway, that's it. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Xiang thought silently. What he didn't expect was. Lord Dayan and these elders believed it, and they saluted the sword tomb, expressing their opinions one after another. It seems to be a blessing from our ancestors, who are protecting my holy land of Dayan. Burial of Sword Peak Sword Tomb, burying countless heroes' swordsmanship, this is the blessing of Dayan Holy Land. Yes, the Holy Sun has this creation, which is a blessing for the Holy Land of Dayan. Upon hearing these words, Xiang remained silent and did not pay any attention. Next second. The words of Lord Dayan made him feel a bit uneasy. Our Holy Sun has the posture of a great emperor. Chapter 8 Old Sage King, Investment Grade. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Our Holy Sun has the wealth of a great emperor. Hush. Upon hearing the words of Lord Dayan, several gasping sounds echoed in the audience. The elders of the Holy Land did not expect that the Lord of Dayan had such a high evaluation of the Holy Sun Xiang. It should be noted that the first Lord of Dayan Holy Land was only a quasi-emperor. If the Holy Sun can step into the realm of the great emperor, the status of the Holy Land of Dayan will definitely rise, and then these high-level elders will follow suit and gain glory. Of course. This beautiful idea only exists in fantasy. The elders are well aware that becoming a great emperor not only requires talent, but also opportunities against the heavens, as well as the blessings of great fortune. Even if the sage possesses the assets of a great emperor, it does not mean that he can truly step into that level. After all, in the past 10,000 years, there have been countless geniuses from various ethnic groups, including some amazing constitutions. However, since the fall of the Qing emperor, there have been no new great emperors. Cough cough. Xiang Qing coughed a few times. He always felt that something was wrong with what he said, but he still responded, "Thank you for your praise. I will definitely become the emperor as soon as possible." "Well, work hard, you must be able to do it." Lord Dayan nodded in satisfaction. I silently thought to myself, sure enough, young people still need more encouragement. Although the probability of Xiang Qing becoming the emperor is almost zero, if he gets a chance encounter, he can advance to become a great saint in his lifetime and also enhance the status of Dayan Holy Land in the eastern wilderness. At this moment, a majestic voice echoed in everyone's ears, coming from the direction of the sword tower in Dayan Holy Land. "Holy Lord, bring Xiang Qing to meet me." At the moment when the sound sounded, not to mention these 8 elders of the Holy Land, even the face of Lord Dayan has changed. Because the person who delivers the message is the Supreme Elder of the Holy Land, with a cultivation level that has reached the level of the Sage King for many years and a lifespan of 7,000 years. Lord Dayan has been in the Holy Land for hundreds of years and has only met the Supreme Elder twice. One time was when he was promoted to the 4th level of the Sendai Heavenly Realm, and the other time was the final test of becoming the Holy Lord. I will abide by the orders of the Supreme Elder. Lord Dayan and the elders bowed in the direction of the sword tower, their faces filled with awe. In recent years, the decline of the Dayan Holy Land has been evident, ranking lower among the major holy sites in the eastern wilderness. If it weren't for the presence of the Supreme Elder of the Sage King, it might have been replaced by other holy sites long ago. It can be said that the Supreme Elder is the pillar of the Holy Land, and his contribution to the Holy Land is enormous. Xiang Qing also bowed along, but his face was not good. Because he had never met the Supreme Elder, his understanding of the latter only remained in some legends. As a traveler, Xiang Qing instinctively thought of some aristocratic ancestors sacrificing their talented descendants in order to continue their lives. Therefore, when he learned that the Supreme Elder was going to summon him, he immediately became vigilant. "Can I not go?" Xiang Qing's voice was very low, but he was still captured by the great Yen Holy Lord. "No way." Lord Dayan gave him a white glance and then added, "It's your chance to be summoned by the Supreme Elder. I've only seen the Supreme Elder twice since I joined the Holy Land for hundreds of years. Don't worry, he won't make things difficult for you. Say it." Without waiting for Xiang Qing to speak, Lord Dayan grabbed his shoulder and turned into an immortal light to escape. When the figures of the two stopped again, they had already appeared outside a towering sword tower. The Dayan Sword Pagoda has a total of 109 floors. It is not only a holy land for the transmission of achievements, but also a place for the assessment of Dayan disciples. This is a holy land in the hearts of countless disciples of Dayan, symbolizing honor and status. Joining the disciples of Dayan Holy Land, passing the 10th level of the Sword Tower can become an outer disciple, passing the 50th level can be promoted to an inner disciple, and passing the 100th level can be promoted to a core disciple. The more it comes to the end, the greater the difficulty of the assessment. Even now, the core disciples of Dayan Holy Land only talk about a few hundred. At that time, Xiang Qing had to cross 108 levels to win the position of the Holy Son of Dayan, which shocked half of the eastern wilderness, because crossing 108 levels meant having the power of a layer of heaven in Sendai. According to the regulations of the Sword Pagoda, Xiang Qing had the opportunity to enter the 109th floor and meet the Supreme Elder. But at that time, I don't know what happened. The top layer of the Sword Tower was temporarily closed, and the two meritorious elders guarding there didn't allow anyone to approach. Even Xiang Qing, who had just passed the assessment and become the Holy Son, couldn't do it. Qing also missed the opportunity for guidance from the Supreme Elder, so he had no choice but to go to the sword tomb at the burial sword peak to try his luck. Unexpectedly, he really practiced the Dayan Holy Sword to perfection. This time it was personally summoned by the Supreme Elder, so Lord Dayan and Qing were unobstructed and soon arrived at the 109th floor of the Sword Tower. There, the two elder masters of the transmission of merit from the 3 layers of heaven in Sendai have been waiting for a long time. One of them said to Lord Dayan, "Lord, please stay." The Supreme Elder only saw son Qing. Lord Dayan furrowed his brows, feeling a bit unhappy in his heart, but he didn't say much either. "Holy Lord, I'll go first." Qing spoke slowly. At this point, he has no way out and can only walk in to see what the situation is. So, he walked into the 109th floor with a nervous heart. As soon as he entered, Qing felt a surge of spiritual energy rushing towards him. He was then stunned by the sight before him. It turned out to be a secret realm of a cave, with small bridges and flowing water, a spiritual medicine garden, and a pavilion. In the pavilion, there is also an elderly man with white hair, who is the Supreme Elder of Dayan Holy Land and also a respected sage king. Although he was still alive, Qing could clearly feel the breath of declining qi and blood, and it was feared that he would soon fall. Suddenly, the sound of the system elves lowly echoed in Qing's ears. Dingdong. Found investable objects, investment level. Reminder. The person in front of you is already the sage Wang Wansheng. If confirmed by the Emperor's Classic, there is a high probability of breaking through the top of the bottle and jumping out of the dead end. Top-level cultivation techniques. Hear the prompts from the system sprite. Qing suddenly came to his senses. He doesn't have the Emperor's Classic on him, but he does have the grass character sword technique. As a precious technique passed down from ancient times, the grass character sword technique is definitely above the average imperial scripture. If it is used to invest in this venerable sage king, the probability of success is definitely reliable. At that time, if a 4-star level investment object experiences a critical strike and returns rewards, remember here. Qing is looking forward to it very much. However, the grass sword technique is currently his biggest trump card. Without understanding the temperament of the old sage king, he must not invest recklessly and must maintain sufficient caution to avoid negative consequences. Come to my senses. Qing took a deep breath and immediately arched his hand towards the old man in the pavilion, saying, Qing, the contemporary saint of Dayan Holy Land, has met the Supreme Elder. Chapter 9. Harvest of 10,000 Swords Technique and Sword Control Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the pavilion. The old man with white hair lifted his head. To Qing's surprise, this Supreme Elder had sword eyebrows and starry eyes, not angry but majestic, and his face was full of righteousness, completely different from what he had imagined. At the moment of his trance, the voice of the Supreme Elder slowly rang out. I haven't met Sendai or Sengshan in my 20s for a long time. You are very good and indeed have the talent of a great emperor. The eyes of the Supreme Elder flickered, as if he was about to see through Qing. His condition was not very good, like a candle in the wind that could be extinguished at any time. But at the moment of seeing Qing, this Supreme Elder already has a plan to make every effort to cultivate Qing before the extinction of vitality. Perhaps he can add another king of the Xiantai 3 layers heaven to the Dayan Holy Land. Elder Tai, is your body okay? Qing asked in a probing tone, feeling that the situation of the Supreme Elder was not optimistic. Perhaps only the 2 elders outside knew about it in the entire Holy Land. As expected. The words of the Supreme Elder next prove this point. 3 years ago, I was hit by a backlash during the impact on the Great Holy Realm, and I was almost on the brink of death. The reason why I am still alive is just to hold on to my breath. The Supreme Elder murmured, these words seemed to inform Xiang, or to be muttering to himself. He fell into some kind of memory and continued, I am well aware of the pressure that Dayan Holy Land is facing. Without the presence of the Sage King, Dayan Holy Land's position in the eastern wilderness would plummet and even be targeted by other forces. The Holy Land of Dayan has been passed down to this day. If it were to completely decline due to the departure of the old master, I would be ashamed of my ancestors' heroic spirits. Xiang, as a contemporary saint, you have shown even more amazing talents than a contemporary saint. Perhaps you can lead Dayan Holy Land to regain its former glory. I have decided to spare no effort in cultivating you while I still have a breath. The tone of the Supreme Elder was very sincere, and as his life entered the countdown, he was still thinking about revitalizing the Holy Land. This selfless spirit moved Xiang a bit. The Supreme Elder. Listen to me first. Xiang was about to speak when he was interrupted by the Supreme Elder and added, there are 3 inherited martial arts in Dayan Holy Land, namely Dayan Holy Sword, 10,000 Swords Technique, and Sword Control Technique. Originally, only the Supreme Elder or the Holy Master could practice these 3 martial arts at the same time, but I have decided to make an exception and pass on the other 2 martial arts to you. Buzz. During speech. Elder Tai quickly lifted a hand and quickly placed it on Xiang's eyebrows. Xiang's face changed drastically, it was too late to stop him. It is extremely dangerous to be hit by someone's eyebrows like this. If the other party is not well intentioned, they can even use great magic to pierce through their own elemental spirit. But fortunately, his worries were unnecessary. The Supreme Elder had no ill intentions, he simply passed on the power, and in this short moment, he had already retracted his glowing fingers. Subsequently, Xiang's knowledge of the sea includes the inheritance techniques of 10,000 Swords Technique and Sword Control Technique. The 10,000 Sword Technique, as the name suggests, can instantly condense thousands of energy in sword energy to attack targets. The amount of condensed sword energy is directly related to the strength of the cultivator. The higher the cultivation level, the more sword energy will be condensed, and the stronger the destructive power will be. It is not capped. Swordsmanship is not an ordinary sword cultivation technique that involves flying with a sword. As one of the 3 great inheritances of the Dayan Holy Land, it not only allows for flying with a sword, but also kills people thousands of miles away. Its power embodies the unique domineering sword intent of the Dayan Holy Sword, greatly enhancing its killing power. Undoubtedly, it is the inheritance technique of the Holy Land of Dayan. This unique skill will definitely cause great turmoil when it reaches the outside world. I didn't expect to get it like this. Xiang's eyes flickered with a hint of surprise, but it was just a surprise. As the Holy Son of Dayan Holy Land, the stronger the talent displayed, the easier it is to be valued. Now even the Supreme Elder has made an exception to pass on merits, which is actually reasonable. After all, whether in ancient aristocratic families or ancestral holy sites, resources are inclined towards geniuses. Just as Xiang thought the matter was coming to an end, the voice of the Supreme Elder continued to ring. Xiang, from now on, feel free to apply to the Holy Land for any resources you need. I will ask the Holy Lord to assist you. Good guy. This kind of treatment is also too pleasant. Ordinary disciples who want to obtain some spiritual stones, medicines, or martial arts secrets work tirelessly every day, and even carry out various dangerous tasks in order to exchange them. And just by showing off exceptional talents, I receive special treatment. Even the Supreme Elder has opened a small stove for me. I don't know how many people will envy me if I say it out loud. Thank you, Elder Tai. Xiang smiled and said. No one will despise having too many resources. Especially as a time traveler, Xiang's demand for cultivation resources was even more shattered when he was aware of the impending extinction crisis that came with Tanjishitian. Well, if you encounter any problems during cultivation, you can always bring this to find me. During speech. The old man also handed a special token to Xiang, which was the Supreme Elder's Order. With it, one can freely walk around the Dayan Holy Land, even in special forbidden areas. Xiang naturally knew the meaning behind this token, and he did not refuse. He put the Supreme Elder's Order into his waist storage bag. Subsequently, Xiang opened the door and asked directly, "Elder Tai, are you still trying to break through the realm of the great sage?" "No, if I had taken the risk of falling before today, I would have given it a try, but not now." The Supreme Elder shook his head helplessly and then added, "Although there is reluctance in my heart, it is not easy to break through the great holy realm. I have been exploring for thousands of years and have not been able to take that step, unless..." "Unless for what?" Seeing Elder Tai hesitating to speak, Xiang immediately asked. Unless there is an imperial scripture as a reference, or a great saint-level expert to help me verify swordsmanship, I will have confidence to further my progress." The Supreme Elder gave a bitter smile and gave such a response. In the world of Tanjijitian, only a very small number of ancient aristocratic families and top-ranked holy sites may have imperial scriptures. However, as the foundation of an aristocratic family or holy site, the imperial scriptures are never disseminated, so how can they be easily revealed to people? As for seeking guidance from a great saint-level expert, it is even more unrealistic. A great saint-level strong person is like a dragon at the head but not at the tail. Those creatures at that level are rare in the cultivation world. Even if they actually appear, they cannot easily guide outsiders. At this moment, Xiang's voice pulled the old man with white hair back into reality. "Elder Tai, I have a sword technique here that may bring you surprises." "What?" The Supreme Elder had a question mark on his face, thinking he had heard it wrong. He is a noble sage king, with half of his feet stepping into the realm of a great saint. How can he appreciate the swordsmanship offered by his descendants? But upon hearing Xiang's words, he immediately became somewhat interested. "Not long ago, the grass sword spirit that I released at the burial sword peak was comprehended from this sword technique, and I call it the grass character sword technique. Chapter 10. Sendai Breaking Pill *3, Xiang Stuffed Duck. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A Blade of Grass Sword. The Grass Script Sword Technique. What kind of ghost is this? The Supreme Elder was confused upon hearing this. He lived for 7,000 years and knew everything about the Holy Land of Dayan like the palm of his hand. He had been closed in the sword tomb of Jianfeng for over 1,000 years, and had long been practicing the three great inheritance techniques of the Holy Land to perfection. But I have never heard of any grass sword meaning or grass character sword technique. However, the sword intent that Xiang unleashed at the sword tomb not long ago did shock him, and even now he still has lingering fear. So it seems. This cursive sword technique was mostly transformed by Xiang after fully comprehending the Dayan Holy Sword. After all, some extraordinary talents have their own unique understanding in the process of cultivating and inheriting martial arts, which has led to the evolution of even more powerful supernatural powers. Xiang, you are now taking action against me. I will teach you the meaning of the sword that you have comprehended. The Supreme Elder didn't waste his time and chose to use the most direct method to test Xiang. Only his strength can explain everything. Elder Tai, but you. Don't worry, I'm just a sage king anyway. It's not as bad as you think. You don't need to keep your hands. That's all for now. Xiang also doesn't want to explain too much. In order to complete this investment task as soon as possible, even if it's to expose his strength, it's okay. Chong. The next moment. 9 piercing sword sounds echoed in this small world, and a domineering and unparalleled sword intent burst out from Xiang's body. Behind him, a phantom of the 9-leaf sword grass appeared in the void, and the powerful aura twisted the space. That's right, Just like the sword intent that erupted from the sword tomb before, I didn't expect this kid to be even more terrifying than I thought, and even be able to freely release the sword intent. The Supreme Elder's eyelids twitched, and his heart was truly shocked. He, the Sage King, unexpectedly sensed a hint of crisis on Xiang Qing. If he were careless, he might capsize in the sewer today. Chi. Xiang Qing raised his hand and saw an energy sword flash, wielding an invincible aura as it struck the elder Tai Shang. With a loud roar, the grass and trees near the pavilion were shattered by the ripples. Even the venerable sage, the Supreme Elder, retreated in embarrassment, and his sleeves were chopped to pieces. However, this is only the beginning. The grass script sword technique focuses on the meaning of the sword and does not have specific sword techniques, emphasizing the freedom to do as one pleases. Before Elder Tai could react, Xiang Qing had already launched the second round of attack. Chi. In an instant, the sword light was like a fairy waterfall, snow-white and brilliant, sweeping over in patches, overwhelming the Supreme Elder. Thunder locks appeared around this small world, and patterns appeared in the void, clearly impacted by the meaning of the grass sword. At the center of the battle, there was a dull sound of the golden iron clash, and a faint figure could be seen constantly changing its position, dodging the attack of the grass sword technique. Just as Xiang Qing was preparing to launch the third round of attack, the Supreme Elder quickly said, "Stop quickly. If we continue to fight, this space will collapse. That's all." Upon hearing this, Xiang Qingkai stopped attacking and somewhat restrained his sword-like intent. For cultivators in the Sendai secret realm, the space on the 109th floor of the sword tower is a bit small, and they cannot fully exert their hands and feet, otherwise the power of the grass word sword technique will be even more terrifying. On the other side, the Supreme Elder's face was gloomy, and his evaluation of Xiang Qing's strength in his heart had once again increased. He had no idea that he was in a passive defense state from the beginning. Although it was the result of suppressing some mana, as an old sage king, he was very unhappy to suffer losses in front of younger generations. "Elder Tai, I'm right. That was the grass sword technique just now. If you fully unleash your power, it can be even stronger." Xiang Qing walked over and handed a source stone that was used to print the grass character sword technique to the old sage king. Of course, this grass script sword technique is a simplified version, which is definitely different from what I have practiced myself. The main reason for this situation is that Xiang Qing's strength is limited and he cannot fully depict the grass character sword technique. However, others are practicing a simplified version, while others are practicing a complete version, which is quite reasonable. Not bad, what you just said is true. The grass sword technique is indeed extraordinary, at least allowing you to improve by 2 levels. Its explosive power is comparable to that of the Saint's realm, and the average king's realm will not be your opponent. The Supreme Elder generously admitted and gave a conservative evaluation. The realm of kings is like the 3 layers of heaven in Sendai, and those who can step into this field are all geniuses. They all have their own tricks and will not be easily killed. Therefore, the evaluation of Xiang Qing by the Supreme Elder is based on evidence. In fact, don't be fooled by what Elder Tai said. If it spreads to the outside world, it will definitely cause a sensation. Practicing in the secret realm of Sendai, I have already half-stepped into the realm of high-level cultivators. However, there is a huge gap in the strength of each realm, and the difficulty of level crossing battles has increased by countless times. However, Xiang Qing surprisingly improved his strength by more than 2 levels with the help of grass character sword technique, which has surpassed the understanding of ordinary people. Even some imperial scriptures may not have such a significant effect. This time, the Supreme Elder did not refuse Xiang Qing's gift, but earnestly took the source stone engraved with the treasure technique into his hand. When he immersed a strand of divine thought in the grass character sword technique, he was immediately stunned by the profound meaning depicted inside. Emperor's Classic, this is definitely the sword technique at the level of Emperor's Classic. Wow, it's really amazing. A grass-like sword that can slay the sun, moon, and stars is truly awe-inspiring. The Supreme Elder was completely attracted by the simplified version of the grass character sword technique. He sometimes laughs, sometimes goes crazy, sometimes sighs, his eyes become bright and lively, as if they are shining back, full of vitality. This kind of performance actually made Xiang worry. If this old sage king gets too excited and dies before he even cultivates, it will be disastrous. Not only will his investment fail, but it will also cause the great Yan Holy Land to lose a protector of the sage king's perfection. At that time, I'm afraid I won't be able to sit comfortably in the position of the great Yanqing Sun. Suddenly, the sound of the system elf's lowly sounded in Xiang's ears, as beautiful as a heavenly melody. Dingdong. The grass word sword grass you invested in has been highly recognized by the Elder of the Holy Land, bringing him a great opportunity to break through at the saint level. Now you will return the reward. 3 Sendai Breaking Pills. Introduction to the attributes of the Sendai Breaking Pill. This is a pill specially prepared for practitioners in the Sendai secret realm. It is limited to use at or below the level of a great saint, and each pill taken can elevate 1 level. I wipe it. Harvest 3 Sendai Breaking Pills in one go. Isn't this just teasing me? Xiang's eyes were round, and he stared at the translucent prompt panel in front of him with some not confident. Although he was unable to trigger a critical hit increase return this time, he was already satisfied with receiving 3 Sendai Breaking Pills. From a certain perspective, Xiang from the second tier of Sendai has a greater desire to improve his cultivation than the martial art secrets, at least before becoming the quasi-emperor. Nowadays, with 3 Sendai Breaking Pills, he can achieve a filling duck-like elevation in a short period of time, and be promoted to the realm of the 5th level Heavenly Sage King in Sendai. P.S. Is there anyone else watching? Please support, even if it's a flower.